Hello, my crafty friends, and welcome to Bird's Nest Designs. My name is Denise Cox. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Trail, British Columbia, Canada. And I am here today to share a gorgeous card made with the Cottage Rose bundle. This bundle can be found in the Annual Catalogue on page 56 to 57. It is part of the Abigail Rose product suite, and it is so pretty. So I'm just going to pop this catalog open to the suite to show you how pretty it is. So there's this gorgeous designer series paper, and we will be using one of the sheets from there. You can get some gorgeous natural finish ribbon here, and of course the beautiful bundle. So that is the card that we are going, or the bundle we're going to focus on for today's card. Is that one. So I have the mini out here today as well, and the reason is I want to make sure you're all aware that tomorrow the retiring list for both catalogs will be launched. So if you are not a subscriber to my email list, please click on the link below in the description of today's video and sign up so that tomorrow, as soon as I'm able to get that retiring list downloaded and into an email, I will be sending it out to everybody so you don't miss a thing. So please, if you're not already subscribed, click on that button and subscribe to my email list. You won't regret it because you're gonna want to see what's leaving. All right, so we are going to create a really pretty card using the Cottage Rose bundle. So the card we're going to create is this one right here. You can see it, designer series paper. We've got ribbon. This is different ribbon, but I thought it went really nicely with the card base background. We're going to use some stamping blends to color and just have a lot of fun. Now, what's really cool is that this card only uses one ink pad. So we're just going to use Early Espresso. We're going to use 2 colors of stamping blends. I've chosen Fresh Freesia and my favorite green, Granny Apple Green. So you could choose any colors that you like. Because of the soft color scheme here in the Sahara Sand, that's why I chose the lighter purple. But you could play it up. You could use some Flirty Flamingo, so saffron. You could use so many different colors. So the card base, let me start with that. No, that wasn't a very good score line I did. Okay, so the card base was 4 1/4 by 11. So I just took a standard 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock and cut it in half at 4 1/4, scored it at 5 1/2, and to create my portrait style greeting card. I'm just going to pop that off to the side for now. And we're going to start, we have this gorgeous paper here. This is from the Abigail Rose 12 by 12 paper. Again, it's available from the Annual Catalogue. And it's got that pretty floral pattern. The back has a nice smoky slate floral pattern as well. So lots of options. I'm going to also use, in today's design, I'm going to use the Deckled Rectangles dies from the Annual Catalogue as well. There's 8 dies in here. We are going to use the 4th and 5th one. If you're going to create this at home, you'll need the 4th and 5th Deckled Rectangle for the pieces here that I'm going to use. Okay, so let's open up our ink pad. And the first thing, this one actually we're just going to set aside. So we're just using the smaller of the die cuts and a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla. That's going to be the insert for our card, okay? So I am going to take this gorgeous Cottage Rose. This is the biggest flower in the stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp that right here at the bottom of my Deckled Rectangle. Isn't that gorgeous? I really love the detail shown in this pretty rose. Now, the sentiments in this stamp set are also really wonderful. So we've got best wishes, it's going to be fab, happy birthday, you are positively the greatest, friends forever, and feel better real soon. So I love it's going to be fab. So that's what we're going to use for the front of the card. And I'm just going to stamp that with Early Espresso right here in the corner. Just like that. Okay. Now, while I've got my ink pad out, I'm going to stamp some love for the inside of my card. So instead, of using the big floral, which was my original idea, I'm going to use the small flower because I want to show you how gorgeous this stamp is. So I'm just inking it up with my early espresso. Look at that. It's so pretty. Now turning my flower, I'm just going to stamp it along a couple of the edges here like that. And then to go along with It's Going to Be Fab, I'm going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment and stamp that right here where it will fit. Okay. Now we are done all of our stamping for this card. Love these flowers. Okay, so let's bring this cardstock back in. First thing I'm going to do is attach the insert to the inside of my card using my seal. That way it's going to be nice and attached and protected from my inky fingers as we go. Here. Okay, that's so pretty. All right, now on the front of the card, I am going to, first of all, I'm going to use this pattern paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is the 5th largest or smallest. It is the 5th from the smallest deckled rectangle. And I'm going to attach that with Stampin' Seal as well. We're going to center that right here on the card. Okay. Now I'm going to pull in some ribbon. This is crumb cake ribbon from the Happy Forest Friends bundle. It comes in a pack of 2 with Old Olive as well. So you get 2 spools of ribbon. And that is also in the annual catalog. So I'm just going to go and snip off a piece here. And I'm going to use my tear tape. So this is how I attach my ribbon when I'm making cards. I take and put the ribbon across where I want it. Okay. And then I flip it over and I put the tear tape down to hold that in place. So I'm not putting any adhesive for the ribbon on the front of the card. It's all just being adhered here in the back. And then I'm not going to pull these off yet, but when it's time to attach this to the front of the card, I will. So right now it's just holding that ribbon nice and snug in place. There's no adhesive on the front, and we've got a nice clean ribbon line there. Okay, so let's go ahead now and we will attach this. So pull those off now. Use some seal here along the bottom and the top, and then we'll attach it onto our, oops. Try and get it spaced evenly, centered. Okay, there we go. So there is the front of the card. Now I'm just going to set that aside because what I want to do now is add some color into this beautiful rose. So as I mentioned, we're going to use Fresh Freesia and Granny Apple Green. Fresh Freesia is one of the colors in the 2021-2023 in color collection, which means it is going to retire. Those colors as in colors will be retiring with the annual catalog on May 1st. Unless by some chance one of them, maybe Fresh Freesia, will make it into the color refresh. One just never knows. I wouldn't be sad to see this color stay, that's for sure. It's very pretty purple. So I'm just going to highlight around. I'm using my dark Fresh Freesia Stampin' Blends, very lightly pressing with the marker end. And I'm just following the lines that Stampin' Up has given us on this gorgeous stamp to create some dark lines for shading. And you can do as many or as little as you want. And of course you can do your own type of shading too. You don't have to follow their lines, but I just find it easier, of course, to do that. Alright, so I did do this video in my Facebook Live Tutorial Tuesday this week, earlier actually, but when I went to upload it to put here for my YouTube followers, the audio was completely wonky. It was all off track. It wasn't synced with the video. It was quite a hot mess. So I decided I would just redo the card, redo the video so that you guys have a nice clean video to view. So now I'm going to switch to Fresh Freesia Light, and I'm just quickly going to run this over and see how that is such a beautiful blended shading. I just love it. Love, I've said it already, but I love this flower. And just making sure I'm going nice and quickly, trying to get this colored. Remember, the idea when you're using your blends is not to press very hard. Just let that tip drag across your paper. Get that color on. All right, just about done. Okay, so there's the flower. Gorgeous. And then we're going to use Granny Apple Green. This is my favorite green currently. I love, love, love this green, and I'm really, really hoping that it stays in the collection of colors that come into the annual catalog. I will be sad to see this one go if it does. There's so many greens in the Stampin' Up collection that I'm curious always which one is everybody's go-to. So if you're watching and you want to play along, leave me a comment and let me know which green is your favorite. There's just, like I said, there's so many to choose from. This one I'm using is my favorite, Granny Apple Green. There's Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz. Currently there's Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen. I'm sure I'm missing some. Mint Macaron, Soft Seafoam. Like, there is a lot of greens in our color palette. Okay, so now that's my dark Granny Apple Green, and then I'm going to come in with the light. Do the same thing. I'm just going to come quickly shade that. All right, I went a little over the lines there, but that's okay, because when I get this all assembled, I don't think you'll even notice. So then I'm going to pull in just my light Fresh Freesia and just do a really quick splotch of color on each of these little buds here. Like so. So pretty. Love it, love it, love it. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to attach this onto the card, and we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. So one on each corner, one in the middle is usually my go-to. If this was a slightly bigger rectangle, I would probably put 2 or 3 in the middle as well, just to make it nice and even. I don't want it to be all wonky. So let's put that there like that. Perfect. Look at how cute this is coming. I love it. Now we'll tie a bow with more of this twill ribbon, and this ties beautiful bows. So I'm just gonna quickly tie my bow here. And then the way I tie my bows, you can just kind of pull on these tails and get it to be the size you want. Pull it just a bit to tighten it. That looks good. And then I'll use a mini glue dot, which are here in my basket. And we'll just stick the bow on and pull it off. That's the easiest way that I find to use the glue dots. It's just stick whatever you're gluing right down onto it and pull it off. And then I can trim the tail here. So I haven't wasted any of the ribbon by not cutting the ribbon off the spool first. And then I can just trim this one as well. So I've wasted a wee bit over here, but it's all good. Okay. There we go. Now, to finish it off, we need a little bit of bling. So I've chosen to use the 2021-2023 in color opal rounds. Here. These will also be retiring because of course they're the in colors, which we'll be saying goodbye to May 1st. So I'm going to use them up while I have them. They're super pretty. And I'm going to just put a few of the Fresh Freesia ones, keep with the color scheme on the card. Like so. There is our finished card. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. As I mentioned, if you want to stay connected, please click on the link in the description of this video to sign up for my newsletter. Tomorrow I will be sending out that retiring list as soon as possible for both of the catalogs to my entire mail list. So make sure you're on there so you don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time on my Facebook page, Bird's Nest Designs. I hope to see you then. Cheers!